Hello. I just realized I set the camera. Hello, hello, and good evening. Now I am back for our day 4 of our challenge. So it's time for our day 4 of our 30-day challenge, our burnout to wealth building challenge. So I'm back, and so I just wrapped up the our secrets to transform burnout into breakthrough webinar. And I have to say, I always like doing that webinar, and it's because when we start thinking about the secrets, and when I start breaking down the secrets, it's almost like it's things that we really, I guess, already know, but I think we don't give ourselves enough credit in knowing that we know this is what I mean. So I love going over through the secrets, talking about breaking through from burnout, because it really impacts it costs us, right? So it costs us our mental health, it costs us our physical health, it can cost us financially, right? So there could be financial consequences from a prolonged burnout, right? And I went over last night about what burnout does and how it impacts us financially, because it starts to limit our earning potential. And we don't want that. So I, love sharing the secrets to transform burnout into breakthrough. I love doing that webinar. The next one is going to be on April 10th. So if you missed this one, make sure you join the next one. And because what happens is, like I mentioned, it affects it takes that mental toll. And when you ignore it, you start to feel, just exhausted, and it just impacts your life in so many ways. So I encourage you not to ignore the signs, and try to recognize the signs. And that's something that I make sure that I talk about in the webinar. And I don't think people think about the physical health consequences, because when you think about the physical health consequences, chronic stress and burnout can increase high blood pressure. It can, and eventually it can lead to heart disease. It can weaken your immunity, right? A lot of people come and they get immunity drips because guess what? Their immune system is weakened because of stress at work. And so the immunity drip is really popular in my IV hydration business, because people want that immunity drip, something to boost their energy and or boost their immune system, I should say. So even chronic pain, right? You have sleep disturbances, headaches, you can have digestive issues. So I don't think we think about the physical consequences of burnout. So we definitely want to make sure that you are thinking about these things. And because heart disease, when you talk about the high blood pressure, again, that's, and I know I said before about strokes and heart attacks, and that's really where it can lead to. And then your financial impact, burnout can lead to job dissatisfaction, which will give you reduced performance, right? Which will eventually, you have a loss of income due to, loss of job, absenteeism. You're not going to work because guess what? You don't feel like it. You don't feel like going to work. Now, and you want to think about, so how can I overcome this? And I love that. I had a conversation. So Justin Grant, I talked with him today. We went live and I talked with him today. And Justin Grant is going to be our keynote speaker at the Health and Wealth Expo. And he's going to be talking about hustle culture, right? So he's the author of Company Men, which is a wellness guide for Black men in corporate America. And he's going to be talking about hustle culture. And when you think of, and just like, let's just unpack that one saying for a second, because it can be interpreted different ways by different people. Just take the word hustle for a second. And I actually use this as an example in the webinar as well, talking about how we hustle as nurses and as healthcare professionals, especially when we get jobs and we are making a certain amount of money that we're not used to making. And now we want to work. So nurses on average work about 3 12-hour shifts on average. Not every nurse works this shift, but on average, they work about 3 12-hour shifts. So that could be 12-hour days or 12-hour nights. And what do we do as nurses when we want to go on a vacation, or we want to buy a car, right? Or we want to buy a house? What do? We start working, or we want to put our kids through college, right? We start working 5 or 6 days a week. So that's 5 or 6 12-hour shifts, whether that's at one job or we're doing hustling at 2 and 3 jobs doing this. We're working agency, we're doing all of these things, and we're just adding to that hustle culture. So we're hustling, trying to make that money, not thinking about the other ways we can make passive income instead of having to hustle all the time. So that's that hustle culture. Because then what happens is it leads to us being stressed, having heart attacks, right? It leads to those strokes. It leads us, it positions us and puts us, making us more susceptible to different disease elements. And I don't think we think about that. So we have to really recognize it and start to reset it. We have to recognize and reset what we're dealing with. So in identifying those signs early is how we start to recognize it and reset and shift our mindset, right? So that by acknowledging, what we need to do, we can really start to make a change in our health, or before our health, I should say, or our careers suffer. And so that way we can also reclaim control, right? So we have to be able to reclaim control over our mindsets, over our careers, or over our finances. And that gives us the opportunity to really, build and thrive. And I also talked with Vanessa Alfaro today. So she's amazing. She's going to be talking about real estate investing and with artificial intelligence at the Health and Wealth Expo. And Vanessa she's spoken internationally. It's absolutely amazing. And she talked about thriving as well, and building and rebuilding and, investing, right? It's when you investing isn't necessarily money, right? And again, I talked about this at the webinar as well. Investing is also your time, investing in you. You have to take, in part of what I'm trying to say is rebuilding and thriving is investing in yourself. So taking opportunities to attend the Health and Wealth Expo 2-day event, convention, that's investing in yourself. That's you investing in yourself so that you can achieve your next level career, so that you can achieve that next level, right? Just in life in general, whether that's building generational wealth, whether that is, networking, meeting people. The only way you're going to get introduced to new environments or be in the rooms with the environments where you need to be in, if you make decisions to invest in you. Now, and listen, I encourage you to, attend the Health and Wealth Expo, because these are the type of topics we're going to be talking about. And I always say that this is not just a summit. This is a movement. When we talk about the topics and the amount of value that you're going to have and you're going to take away from this event, you are going to be able to, shift your mindset. So listen, if you haven't already, I always have to end with, make sure that you log into healthandwealthexpolive.com. I really hope that you are taking away gems from listening to these speakers. Like I said, Justin and Vanessa were amazing today. So go back and listen to the recording. And for my Facebook group, I'll make sure that the reels are in the Facebook group, because I'm not sure if we were able to stream over there when they came on live, but definitely go back and listen to the recordings, listen to what they're going to be talking about at the summit. And I'm just super excited. So, all right, guys. So until next time, I guess I will see you tomorrow for day 5 of our 30-day challenge. And it's getting, we're getting there. We're day 5. We're day 4 in. We're 4 days in, and I'm still with it. Don't forget, starting April 1st, we're going to switch to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But for now, I'll see you next time tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So good night, guys.